Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Jamie Chesney, and today we're one-on-one with Chaka Worthy.
How you doing?
He is a mixed martial artist with an amateur record of 6-1 and a pro record of 3-2. I have seen Chaka fights. Quite impressive. I've seen some amazing improvements to your striking.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk more about that shortly, but first, let's start at the beginning. Tell me about yourself and where you come from and what your family's like.
I come from a big family, from Pittsburgh originally. I have 5 sisters, 2 brothers.
5 sisters.
Yeah, 5 sisters, 2 brothers. My older brother is Kama. He fights, of course.
Chaka Worthy, the
yes.
UFC fighter. Yes.
Yeah, that guy. But no, yeah, I come from a big family. We're real tight. Pretty much, we're spread out right now all over. Got a couple sisters in Georgia, one in Florida. I went off to school in Alabama, and then the other families all like around the Pittsburgh area still. So that's pretty much the family for me.
Yeah. So what did you do before you were into mixed martial arts?
I went to Alabama State.
Okay.
Went to Alabama State, pledged Q's, Gamma Sigma chapter.
Nice.
Was an education major. Didn't really want to finish it. And I always wanted to compete still, because I played sports in high school, but not on like the college level or nothing.
What sports did you play in high school?
Basketball, football, baseball, but nothing like special or nothing. But I just always liked to compete. And then it just so happened that fighting just came up.
Well, I remember your brother saying, because we trained together, it used to be called the Fight Club, which is now the academy where you train out of.
Yes.
And I remember him saying, my brother's going to be coming. Then you showed up one day, and I think we've sparred before. Yeah.
Because I had started like doing jiu-jitsu when I was in Alabama in like
Nice.
2014. But then my brother was like, of course, if you want to fight, you need to come up north where it's bigger. Because the South is pretty much just cares about football. So when I decided I was really going to try to fight, that's when I moved to Pittsburgh to train full time pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's just here since then.
That's when you showed up at the Fight Club.
Yep.
So what was that like for you, showing up in mixed martial arts gym compared to the sports you were into and just jiu-jitsu?
Nothing really, because it's just like competition. It's kind of just like all the same. I compete in like every aspect of my life, so it was just like, all right, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you say you're going to do, so show up and do it.
Yeah, I like it. So when did you have your first fight?
I had my first fight in 2015.
Okay, what was that like?
It was fun. It was definitely fun. It was a different experience, but yeah, it was fun.
Were you nervous going into there, or?
Kind of, sort of, but not really. Because I mean, like we trained hard all the time, so it was like
You were ready?
Yeah, we like knew we were better than like all the other amateurs.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, it's gonna be a fight, but I don't know. I don't know. It was fun though.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely coming from one of the best gyms around.
Thank you.
I mean, having that confidence.
Yeah, it's just, and that's just like always been. So fighting's like, okay.
Yeah. Just another competitive thing.
Yeah,
that
like
doing?
sparring be more harder. Like I get hurt more sparring.
Yeah.
I really do. Like even in my losses, they were like boring fights, but I really like get banged up in more sparring. So fights are like easy.
Yeah. Who are you sparring with?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Kamal, John, Jake, Justin. Those are the guys at our gym. Then I go down to Stouts and get some work in. Guys from the Mat Factory. So I get like a lot of work. Like this morning, I was down at Stouts, and there was a bunch of guys from Ohio, from the Mat Factory. So it's kind of just anywhere. Anybody that wants to work, I get work in.
You get the work in. That's good. Now, do you have a family of your own while you're doing all of this?
Yeah, I got my little son, Malachi. He's 5.
Aw.
That's my little man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like kind of, I started fighting at my son all at the same time. So
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah. Are you his hero? Are you his hero?
I would hope so, but
Yeah.
hey, you never know, man. He's in the Sonic right now, so I can't even lie. Sonic is his hero.
That's funny. So, at what point did you have your first loss as an amateur?
My 5th or 6th fight.
What was that like?
It was boring. I lost to this kid, Corey Breckner. I just got out wrestled, but it was just a boring fight. It was just a boring day. It was my first time like missing weight. Everything was just boring. So,
It was off.
Yeah, it was just off. It was like a boring fight, so I lost, but it was just okay, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I beat him my pro debut, and it was like very easy. So it was like okay.
Oh, I bet that.
So that was it. It was like that's what like my first loss was like okay. It was boring, but that's all good.
Well, you completed that cycle by
Yeah.
getting the win. I'm happy
Yeah.
to hear that.
I mean, if he's listening, hopefully he'll want some more. But you never know.
Go for a third time, right? So, when I saw you fight, I was actually judging that fight, okay? And I have to say, like, I look at everybody, they say, as a judge, you're not a fan anymore. And I'll always be a fan of every fighter, win or lose. The fact that you guys step into the cage, that takes a lot of courage,
Right.
preparation, and everything that goes with that. So I was really impressed with how you handled your stand-up, how you stayed on the outside and worked in. You were in and out, moving side to side, the lateral movement, and then when the knockout, you saw the knockout and you went for it. Can you tell me about the differences from that fight, from the previous ones?
Like the crazy thing was every fight, like we tried to make a little bit of adjustments. That fight I was coming off a loss before, where I set way too much in front of a guy that wanted to wrestle, and I was just trying to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't give him. I wasn't moving enough. So basically, like I stayed in wrestling range for him, so he was able to wrestle me and just make the fight very boring. So the adjustments was pretty much just don't go for the knockout. Just pretty much just let it come. You know these guys can't take punches, so don't like sit on the punch. Like the punch that knocked him out, I was moving backwards and just switching my stance. It's just like the more you hit constantly, eventually it'll just go away. So it's just like little adjustments you got to make. So then it's on to the next fight. So it's like looking at that one, got to make the adjustments from even the stuff I did good on that one. So
Yeah. What would you attribute your training? I mean, the side to side. Did you get a new coach? Because I know you were working with Christopher
no,
Williams.
it's always just you're always gonna be finding and training and doing something new. Like a lot of the stuff I've been working on the last year, it's not first nature yet, so I haven't been able to show it yet in the fight. So a lot of times it's just the stuff becoming first nature and not going back to like the same bad habits and stuff, and using the stuff that you're like expanding with in your game.
So when you say first nature, is that you practicing the right things until it becomes natural?
It's like with me, it's not even necessarily like the right things. It's just like a feel. Like the more I fight, the more comfortable I get. Like unfortunately, like I only had 7 amateur fights. I had like 13 fights pulled out. So I don't really have that many fights really. I've only been really training for 4 years, and I'm going in there with guys that have at least been wrestling or some discipline for like 10, 12 years. So it's like I got to give myself time to work on different little aspects, but it's all good right now.
Yeah. I mean, where do you see yourself headed now?
Right now I'm focused on making 125 pounds.
Wow. So where are you at right now?
I can't say.
Okay.
I will say that I was as big as 175 at the beginning of last month.
Okay.
But that was after my fight. It got canceled and stuff.
Yeah.
But my next fight's probably gonna be like 130.
Okay.
But we'll see where it's at. So.
Wow. I know that the people you're with, they know how to cut weight
Yeah.
properly. I've cut weight with them before.
Like weight cutting to me, it's just the motivation. Like I've had so many fights get canceled up to 2 weeks before a fight. So now it's like, you know what, all right, it's whatever. But as long as I know, all right, this guy's really gonna show up, then we can do it. So
Yeah. I know what it's like to have a lot of fights canceled.
Yeah.
It's disheartening.
yeah, because it's like, come on. And I cut a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like I walk around usually 60s and I fight at 35. And this is like an amateur with day of weigh-ins.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll get down to 40, 45 and the fight's canceled.
Yeah.
But thank you, I've been dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, one year I had 17 fights cancel out on me. 3 of the girls were pregnant.
Oh no.
It was
Well,
boxing,
I mean-
Muay Thai, but still.
I guess, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I would show up and they would fail the pregnancy test. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well,
like,
I think they were kind of disappointed too,
Yeah.
kind of shocked.
What a way to find out.
What a way to find out. Wow.
Just gotta make sure you're right before you
Hey.
show up there, you know?
Wow, man. But yeah, so, but right now, like there probably won't be no fights for a while, so I know I can plan out my camp the way I want to, and as long as a promoter can guarantee somebody will make the weight, the business makes sense, we good to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody that's like really a lot of hype though. I kind of want somebody bigger, like I'm not really looking for the Ohio, PA local MMA scene. Like it's been dead for a while.
You want to go next level?
Yeah, like somebody hyped up.
Yeah.
Not the old recycled MMA community around here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You want some
It's
fresh meat.
Yeah, it's
You want
like
a challenge.
it's like the same old Facebook people post like, boo,
Yeah.
not into that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I respect that, because a lot of people cherry pick their fights, they'll turn it down.
It's like just the business of MMA. Like the local guys just competing, and a lot of time it's like, for what?
Mm-hmm.
You'll fight a bunch of guys, and it's like, are you really even helping your career? Are they helping theirs? Are you even getting paid for the level of the fight you're putting on? So it's like everything got to make sense,
Right.
and it doesn't a lot, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Were you a fan of martial arts growing up?
Kind of, sorta. I like to fight, but not really. My brother was more into like actual karate and like in the Bruce Lee movies and stuff like that. I just like to fight, and then it became like popular kind of around the time I was in school, and then he started fighting, and you can actually make money beating people up. So like, why not? Why not try?
It is fun.
So,
Like sometimes people don't understand. They think there's something wrong with us that we enjoy.
I mean, there probably is. I mean, I don't like. I tell people. I mean, I tell people all the time, like my coworkers, everybody, like, yeah, like that's probably like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yeah, let me just think about fighting. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
It's
exactly.
exciting. That feeling when first of all, the work that you have to put into it, the training every day. You start at one level, and then after months and years, you get to another level where you're able to pick things apart. You're able to see things. I mean, to me, that is so rewarding. Like I can go in there and just demolish somebody. Yeah, it's
and
so
then
much
like
fun.
it's such a big risk, and it's like, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like really, when you really look at it, it's like people put such a bigger deal into it than it really is. It's like, okay, you lose a fight, you win a fight, so what?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Oh, I was the biggest baby after my first loss.
I mean, I was a little baby,
I
but
was.
I mean,
Like, I can't believe I
but it's
lost.
still like, even though it's like, all right, you're upset, but the next day you're in the gym.
Get over it.
So it's like, okay,
Back to the lab.
and that's the good part. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, because you want to improve.
Yeah.
But the feeling that you get with that first loss, it's
Yeah.
like, what
Like
happened?
losing, like honestly, losing is worse than like anything.
I agree. That feeling, it's just, I mean, there's nothing like winning when you go in there and all your friends and family are around and you get that adrenaline rush.
I don't care for that.
You
though.
don't?
I
I'm like,
that's
yeah,
why I
feed
like
off the
going
crowd.
on the road. Like I honestly don't like, and that's the like I don't know why.
Really?
Like I really just
You go
I
and
just
do the
just
work?
go, and just leave.
Yeah.
Like I would
I like
prefer
it.
going into somebody's house, like beating them up in front of their girlfriend, their mom. Like that's fun, and then you just leave. Like I don't want, like I don't know, cause I don't know, like fans and all that. And this is like horrible to say, cause we need fans and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just there's so much fake stuff, and I'm just that's why I like the guys I train with.
Yeah, they're
I've
real.
always trained with the same people. Whether we having a good day or bad day, we gonna get that goddamn work.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know.
They're a
That's,
good
yeah,
group.
yeah, that's it. Like
Yeah.
it's just that's just the guys I train with. Even
Yeah.
like the guys from the other gyms. It's
Yep.
just like a certain mentality. Like I don't give a shit about the fans. I don't give a damn if we going in there. Like my man John's last fight, we went into Ohio, beat the shit out of this guy, and it's like we don't care about the fans. Like
Go in, go out.
go in, go out. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, but I don't know. It's just weird.
See, for me, it was a little different. My first cage fight, everybody was screaming, and I had this weird feeling that came over me. I just started jumping like a maniac in there. It just
See,
got to me.
I hear my coaches. Like that's really the only, and my sister. One of my sisters
Yeah.
is so damn loud. Like she's
Awesome.
She's it's ridiculous. But like yeah, right. I'm really just like locked in
Yeah.
fights. I'm just listening to coaches. And so it's like the other stuff doesn't really. And that's kind of thing like why I like going on the road, because I think that's less distractions.
Yeah.
Like my son's never been in none of my fights, because I'm just like I don't want. It's different. I just want to
Separate
get in
it.
work, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing the right thing. That's a good mentality to have. It really is. I mean, you're there because of the true love of doing what you do.
Like it's
And
fun beating people up.
It
Just leave
is.
it.
I agree. I agree to that too. You know, all your fans are going to be like, "What? We don't matter."
No, like no, and
Let's clarify
that's the thing about, and everybody, like, people come to the gym and everybody knows, like, I'm gonna work. If you working, let's work. Like, I like to see people work.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk MMA, let me see you in the MMA gym.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I'm not really mean. I have no time for the other stuff. So like, let's get to it.
I like it.
Fans are fans.
Yeah.
Buy tickets. They're like, you know what I mean? Them are the fans I care about. The fans that are out there buying them damn tickets
Supporting
and stuff.
you.
You feel me? Because everybody talking about the shutdown and stuff. So when we come back selling tickets, spend that $35 on that damn ticket.
That's right. You hear that?
That is it. No, but let me stop, man.
No, it's the right message. I mean, you're there for the work, for the true love of the art, and the fans are there to support.
Yeah, because like people don't realize, like, fighters put in a lot. Even the amateurs, like, you're spending a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
Like, I look at my last fight, all the amateurs that were on it that paid for medicals and everything, and then the fight gets canceled.
Yeah.
And now there probably won't be fights for 7-8 more months.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to get all their medicals again.
Yeah, they're only
and
good
they're
for 6 months. Yeah.
And they're not gonna get paid. So I'm like, okay, let's see, like, how our promoters and can talk with our commissioner and say, like, all right, let's try to work out some discount or something. Like, so I don't know. Hopefully that happens though. So we'll see.
I know everybody's trying.
So it's like that's where it's just. I'm like, all right, let's think about the fighters while we think about this, because they've still been paying to train this whole time, so that when we do come back, we could put on entertainment fights.
Yeah.
So.
I know Serb didn't want to cancel that fight.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Yeah, that was like it went all the way up to the last day. That was just one of them things. Yeah, and then the next day, you back training, because it is what it is.
Yeah. Gotta really learn to take things with a grain of salt in this industry.
Got to. You get knocked out in front of everybody. So.
Yeah. What advice would you give to an aspiring fighter who has no experience and they want to make it all the way?
Get your ass in the gym, man. Like, I'm sorry, but you gotta be in the gym. Like, everything else don't matter.
Right.
Like, I don't care about what you watch, you gotta train. Like, it don't matter who your coaches are, who your training partners are. If you're not going to train constantly, eventually you're going to get exposed.
Right.
Like, so you have to train. Like, I train all the time, and I'm still thinking of ways like how I can find time to train more. Like, I'm sorry. It's just you have to train. Like, and it sucks, but you have to.
It's about that practice.
Yeah.
Every day.
You have to train, and it sucks, but it's fun. I like it.
I love it. I'm there with you. I'm starting in a full-time jiu-jitsu program coming up here.
Oh,
and my
goodness.
kids in it.
Oh,
we're all a bunch of girls showing up with our
man.
games.
Oh, man.
I'm so excited.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so a lot of good things coming up here. And
that's good.
And I'll always support the community. Even though I'm a judge now, I feel that's another way that I'm supporting the community. So when I see you in there, part of me is the fan to the winner and the loser, and part of me is looking at it objectively, saying, okay, well, this person is technically the winner.
How's that been transitioning into a judge?
I had to really step back from being a fan. Like, they're like, Jamie, no shaking hands or getting close to the fighters, and I'm like, what? They're all my friends. You know? Like, come on, sir. He's like, well, you can't. And I was training a girl. I was training Raven, and sir was like, Jamie, you need to pick. Do you want to be a trainer or a judge? And I'm like, oh man, so what do I do?
Yeah.
But I think I can make a better contribution to the community, whereas I could focus on one person or two people as, a female trainer for these young women. But we have a lot of great coaches around here that have more. But as a judge, I can look at everybody more objectively, and I feel like I have enough knowledge that I can make the right decisions based on the fights, where I'm an unbiased judge, and I'm smart enough to see, what really happens here or there.
Do you find yourself having to compete with other, let's say male judges?
No, not
with
at all.
your scorecards, or people trying to see how you judge
We
fights or
don't
stuff?
even see each other's scorecards.
Okay.
So what happens is, as soon as we're done judging the round for pro fights, it's round by round. One of us goes around and collects all the scorecards. We don't even look at it. We hand it off to the commissioner, whether it be Serb or Mike Arnez. And for the amateur fights, we just do it for all 3 rounds and
Okay.
then hand it over.
So y'all don't like compare like who y'all like talk as judges like afterwards to see like who y'all have
Well, I
winning
did
fights
for
and
my
stuff?
first split decision. I did once because
Okay.
I try not to put anybody in a position to be uncomfortable.
Okay, I see how
you
that
know, with
could
the
go.
other.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had my first split decision, and I'm like, who'd you take on that? And I knew I was the only one responsible for the split decision, but I was right. I still think I was right.
I feel you.
It was a
Split
close
decisions
fight.
can be interesting. I've had one of them. Oh.
Yeah. I haven't had a split decision. I had 13 fights. And they all went 30-27.
Oh, man.
I lost went 30-27 in the other person's favor. I only lost twice, but
Oh,
still.
No, my first pro loss was a split decision.
Yeah, how was that?
Those are worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fight. I thought I actually could have finished them, but it was one of them ones where I had too much fun because I actually enjoy fighting.
Well, you can't have too much fun.
But you can though because you
Wow.
run out of time.
So it's because it's only 3 rounds. So then you run out of time and it's on the judges and it's like, well, we're just now warming up and having fun.
Yeah.
So that's like a problem I have like in fighting because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily just let me go out there and finish it quick. It's like okay, let me see what you've been doing. Let me see how much better than you I am. And like so I don't know, but I gotta start finishing fights more, I guess.
I had the same problem. My Muay Thai coach, I was fighting for a championship, and he goes, "Don't knock her out." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You need the ring experience."
Yeah.
So the last round, I wasn't allowed to punch her. I had to kick her for the whole round. No hands.
But and that's my thing too. Like because I've had such short fights,
Yeah.
I have to get cage experience. I'm like I might only fight twice a year. So going in there and
last mask here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
so like going out knocking somebody out in the first round and then that fighting again for 7 months, I'm not getting any red cage experience.
Yeah.
Might as well go out there, get 3 good hard rounds in, make some adjustments, figure out some different stuff. I mean, it's one fight.
I understand that mentality, but coming from my experience of getting the ring experience, I regret that. I'm like, why didn't he let me knock her out? I had her. She's bloodied up. I should have just kept going.
No, in the middle of the fight, if I see you banged up like that, no,
gotta
you
go
got
for
to
it.
go.
Yeah.
But it's just like I don't go out pressing.
Yeah.
Like my last fight where I lost, I went out pressing for the knockout, looking
Instead of
for
letting
it.
you
Instead of just
persevere.
letting it go out there and have fun. But it's a balance you gotta find. But
Yeah.
sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't, and that's the fun part about the sport, though.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree. What do you think about before you get into the cage? Like for me, I always feel like I have to be so warmed up that I get past my first win. So when I'm in there, my second win, once I hit my second win, I could go all day. Like how is that for you? Do you have like any psychological issues with that? I did. Like if I didn't go through that first win, I felt like, there might be a challenge here.
It's not in my head, but I've noticed it, and my coaches have noticed it, depending on my performance. Like there've been some fights where where we can tell, like, okay, we should have warmed you up a little bit earlier. Like my first loss, I should have came out a little more aggressive. So I should have warmed up more, like a little more aggressive. So it's like that. And then there was a fight even where I won, where I was like, okay, maybe I warmed up a little too much because I got a little tired in the second round. So it's just like everything is like each fight's individual. So after it happens, just look and see what worked, what didn't. I don't know. That's kind of like how I look at it. Like even the stuff that worked good in one fight, I can't necessarily try to do it again because
It's a different fighter.
It's going to be a different fighter.
Yeah.
Everything might be different. So, but I do know what you mean though, because it's weird. Like we talk about that. My coach is like, okay, we got to make sure before this fight we warm you up earlier. And I remember we warmed up earlier. Went out there, felt great. That was the Chris Disselble fight. Went out there, had a great fight. And the fight before then, I lost the split decision, and I wasn't warmed up yet. It was like, all right, I'm just getting going, and the fight's over. So going into the next fight, Chris was like, look, we're gonna warm up early, so it feels like you're already in the second and third round when the first round starts. But that was just an adjustment from that fight to the next fight.
Yeah.
So it's weird though. It's just weird, like how it's just different. But that goes to show like you have good coaches. They see stuff, you see stuff. Sometimes you don't agree. You just bounce stuff off each other, and you just put the best product you can out there.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Very exciting fighter to watch.
Thank you.
Chaka Worthy is from the academy. I'm excited to see your next
Thank
fight.
you,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll be soon. Hopefully.
I hope so. Any talk on that? What's Ryan saying?
Nothing really in PA, but y'all know I be trying to travel, so
Yeah.
I'm everywhere. I'm hoping, honestly, I probably could be ready to fight in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
At 135 pounds. I could probably fight at 145 pounds right now, and I can make 125 probably in 5 or 6 weeks.
That's
So.
impressive.
we just gotta talk, so I don't know. We'll see.
125.
We'll see. That would be horrible and dying, but to do that, it gotta be worth it.
Yeah.
Like for me to fight at 125, it'd had to be somebody that's basically like right at the door of the UFC, and they gotta get another win. So they think they're gonna fight Chaka and get a win, and oh shit, now they got knocked out. So that would be like my motivation to cut the 125, because
Yeah.
it would kill me. But I know if I made it, I'd be God then.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, I'm excited. I can't
Thank
wait
you,
to
thank
see your
you.
next fights. Everybody, check out Chaka Worthy at the Academy.
Thank you.
How should they follow you?
It's FUCKN, Bushmaster. That's on Instagram, that's on Twitter, and that's on Snapchat.
Okay. We got it. Be sure to follow Chaka.
Chaka Worthy on Facebook though. That's more for the family.
Yeah. I'm gonna start following you on Instagram now.
Look, I'm just saying, y'all.
Well,
All right.
be sure to buy a ticket to his next fight.
Yup.
I will.
Buy
post
one
it.
even if you want to see me lose. Either way, I'm getting paid.
I don't think anybody wants to see you.
Hey, you never know.
Well, it was a pleasure having
Thank
you
you, thank
today.
you.
Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on.